If we compare the current situation in the pipeline transport of crude oil and petroleum products with what we inherited from the Soviet oil industry, we can see that our efforts have taken the sector to an utterly new level. 1970. The Chief Operational Directorate for Oil Transportation and Supply, known as TRANSNEFT, was established in the USSR to manage crude oil transfer from oil fields to domestic and foreign consumers. By 1987, there were some 94,000 kilometers of trunk oil and petroleum products pipelines in the Soviet Union. However, after the USSR collapsed, less than half of this infrastructure was left in Russia. By 2000, most of the oil pipeline facilities needed reconstruction. Another challenge at that time was that Russia had virtually lost some of the oil export ports of the former Soviet Union, so the Russian oil had few export outlets. TRANSNEFT managed to maintain its role as an integrated national oil pipeline company and to resume growth. The total length of national oil trunk pipelines has increased by half since 2000. In 2017, over 477 million tons of crude oil and 33 million tons of petroleum products were transported over the TRANSNEFT system. Today, the seaports of Novorossiysk, Primorsk, Ust-Luga, and Kozmina serve as the main gateways for the export of Russian crude oil and petroleum products. Over 119,000 people work at the company's facilities in all federal districts of Russia. By ensuring the technological independence of our country in the area of oil and petroleum products transportation and creating favorable conditions for the production of pipeline equipment in Russia, TRANSNEFT is carrying out its strategic mission. Regions of TRANSNEFT. Far Eastern Federal District. Historically, Russia's oil exports were all targeting European markets. At the turn of the third millennium, economic growth surged in the Asia-Pacific region, demanding more energy resources. The Russian crude is delivered to the Asian-Pacific markets via the Eastern Siberia Pacific Ocean Oil Pipeline System, shortly known as ESPO. The total length of the ESPO is 4,740 kilometers, which makes it one of the world's largest pipeline systems. It carries a high-potential blend of Russian crude oil called ESPO. The terminal point of the pipeline system is the oil port of Kozmina. Siberian Federal District. The Koyombo-Tayshet oil trunk pipeline is a new route carrying crude oil from new oil fields in Krasnoyarsk region to domestic refineries and for export supplies. Ural Federal District. The task of evacuating crude oil from new oil fields in Yamonyanets Autonomous District and the north of Krasnoyarsk region demanded a new route, Zapoler-Poper-Samatloa pipeline. The first oil pipeline in Russia, whose major part is located above the Arctic Circle, was designed and built. Volga Federal District. The Yug trunk pipeline for petroleum products is a new transport corridor for supplying Euro 5 diesel fuel to Russia's domestic market, as well as exporting it via Novorossiysk port. A system of oil trunk pipelines delivers oil to the southern federal district of Russia to feed the refineries of Krasnodar and Rostov regions, and to export it via Novorossiysk port. Central Federal District. USSR, 1959. The Council for Mutual Economic Assistance of the Socialist Countries passes a resolution on the construction of the Druzhba Trans-European Oil Pipeline. Today, after years of political, social, and economic transformations, this pipeline still works as an integrated oil transportation system. TRANSNEFT is implementing the program of developing the Druzhba oil pipeline, ensuring timely replacement of key operating assets. Another project currently being implemented in the Central Federal District is the Moscow Ring Petroleum Products Pipeline, the aim of which is to increase the volumes of light petroleum products supplied to the Moscow region. For example, the pipeline system will cover up to 80% of the Moscow airport's demand in jet fuel. Northwestern Federal District. The Baltic Pipeline System became Russia's first major pipeline project to be implemented after a 20-year hiatus in the challenging time of the late 90s. Today, it is an independent export route of transporting Russian oil to the European markets, bypassing the transit territories of the neighboring states. The end point of the pipeline system is the oil port of Primorsk. Its capacity is 74 million tons of oil a year. In 2012, Phase 2 of the Baltic Pipeline System, BPS-2, was put into operation with a terminal point in Port Ust-Luga. The Northwestern Federal District also hosts the ongoing SIBERIA project, the capacity of which will be increased from 15 to 25 million tons of oil a year. Made in TRANSNEFT. 10 years ago, the share of Russian equipment and materials used in the TRANSNEFT system was about 75%. In 2017, thanks to the import substitution policies of TRANSNEFT, the volume of domestic products used by the company increased to 93%, while the share of imported equipment continues to decline. TRANSNEFT oil pumps. Located in the city of Chelyabinsk, the TRANSNEFT oil pumps plant produces mainline pumps and electric pump units. The plant has reached its design capacity and is now completely covering the demand of the Russian pipeline industry. Russian Electric Motors is a new plant which was commissioned in 2018. The design volume of manufacturing high-voltage electric motors for mainline and booster pumps is 300 units a year. The Tomsk Electric Drive Plant manufactures more than 40 types of highly reliable electric drives for shutoff and control valves. What makes these electric drives different from foreign analogs is their compact design and small weight combined with high efficiency and operation accuracy. The Tumin Machinery and Repair Plant manufactures component parts for pump units and produces non-standard metal structures and drain assemblies for oil tanks. Among the new products of the plant are modern systems of sewage treatment facilities for oil pumping stations. TRANSNEFT factory designs and manufactures more than 50 specialized products for construction and repair of trunk pipeline facilities. This domestic company also produces a system for measuring the amounts of oil and its quality indicators. TRANSNEFT Synthesis produces drag-reducing agents, DRA, a high-technology product that helps to increase the throughput capacity of trunk oil pipelines. TRANSNEFT Diascan performs pipeline diagnostics using inline inspection tools and flaw detectors of its own design and production. The proprietary developments of TRANSNEFT Diascan are up to the top industry standards, some of them being unparalleled in the world. Energy saving. The company pays a lot of attention to resource conservation. The energy consumption of TRANSNEFT facilities makes up about 1.3% of the total national consumption. TRANSNEFT is the first Russian major company to be awarded an internationally recognized certificate for its energy management system. From 2009 to 2017, the company managed to decrease the specific energy consumption in oil transportation by 16%. The savings amounted to almost 7 billion rubles. According to the auditors of the international consulting company KPMG, TRANSNEFT is one of the most energy-efficient companies in the world's pipeline transport sector. Pipeline safety. One of the most important activities of TRANSNEFT is furthering the safety of trunk oil pipelines and ensuring their smooth operation, as well as providing protection from the acts of criminal interference with the operation of trunk pipelines. To ensure the safe operation of the pipeline facilities, legal regulation is carried out, threats are identified and prevented, steps are taken to enhance the pipeline safety, to create a system of physical barriers, and to ensure the information security of the fuel and energy complex. environmental safety. The permanent priority of TRANSNEFT is increasing the level of industrial and environmental safety and environment conservation. At all of the TRANSNEFT facilities, a system of environmental industrial control has been formed to monitor the condition of atmospheric air, water, and land resources. TRANSNEFT helps. Being a socially responsible company, TRANSNEFT takes an active part in the construction of the social infrastructure in the regions of the pipelines, carries out campaigns in support of culture, science, and education, as well as physical culture and sports and healthy lifestyle promotion. TRANSNEFT actively helps to preserve and enhance the spiritual values of Russia and to develop international cultural ties. With each new kilometer of pipeline, TRANSNEFT implements new technologies, gains invaluable experience, and opens up new opportunities on national and global scale.